Hey, it's Jackie King. Welcome for another game and chill. Decided to do something a little different this time because it just does not feel like I've had any time to record today. Despite the fact that the thing that I thought was going to take 3 hours to do only took 1 hour because that thing was Raikou Raid Aid. And if you've been following me on Twitter, you know how that went. I'll just leave it at that for right now. So what I'm doing, apologies in advance, the audio quality isn't as good, because I'm basically just walking as I'm commentating, and I'm doing it right off my phone mic, which one of those two things by themselves wouldn't be too bad, but I imagine doing both at once wouldn't be that much better. Oh my god, there's actually a spawn between the stops over there and the next stop forward. That never happens in this park. Maybe we actually can turn this park into a Pokemon Go playable area someday. Definitely made some progress with the new phone actually consistently loading up in here. Yeah, I decided to go back to this park because, one, did not feel like I was out enough playing Pokemon Go today. Two, really wanted to get out and walk today, but have not had time to do so. I kind of just got way too caught up in Mario Maker because as I'm recording this, it just came out today. Oh man, 2 spawns in between the 2 stops. Let's not get crazy now. This game may actually be playable in nature areas where animal-like creatures would normally live. I thought I was going to break out that first ball and run, and I would have been a real sad panda, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've gone to this park. My god, this is the most stubborn 300 CP Eevee I ever seen in this game. Like, you got a raspberry now, you got a great ball. I don't care if I mess up my throw, this gotta stay in now. Gotcha. What was I saying? Something about like it being so long since I've been to this park? Oh yeah. Now that it's summertime, state parks are starting to charge an entry fee. And I don't have my state pass set up yet. So I just kind of been forced to avoid them. Not too bad, honestly, because the way I go up to work and back, there's usually like plenty of places to walk without going into a park that's that stingy. I know it says more. Is this getting too personal? And was that really rain I felt? Distractions aside, I'm gonna just say it. It's Erie County seems to be a whole lot less stingy than Niagara County with places you can walk for free. Just from my personal experience so far. And I guess it's not too bad because unless you actually live in the Western New York area, you have no idea what those 2 things I just said actually mean. But yeah, that Routes is on the picture, and yeah, sure, Alolan spawns are nice because you can shiny hunt for them now. But I am here for this Routes. Like, I will never turn down a wild Routes wherever it may appear. It's actually a little weird that wild Routes has appeared. Honestly, I cannot figure out yet, even with the walking I've done around here, what the spawns even are for this particular place. I mean, the event doesn't help, and there isn't really like a normally rare Pokemon popping up to make it obvious what the next Pokemon is. So at least I know them. What's missing out on too much not going over here. I think the most interesting thing is like the one park in between work and back become a Hippopotas nest. A little unfortunate that I didn't find that before I got the Pokedex entry, but at least let me get plenty of candies real quickly so that I could evolve the female form to go alongside with the male form that I previously got. And I just noticed with how much I move my phone back and forth, this is really going to be a crummy video. I don't know, I did a quick sound test and it sounded fine. So I'll take the chance. Worst case scenario, I have to scrap this video and I got a nice walk out of it. Now, one thing I didn't mention, yeah, it's with GoFist. Excuse me. Sorry, that stop is actually a fish cutting place where people like prepare their fishing catches into edible substances, if you know what I'm getting at. So it can be smelly, especially when there's actually other people using the park. Now, I guess I'm getting pretty lucky because I'm thinking like if I run into people, then I'm just going to stop the recording until I'm back alone again. Just because I feel socially awkward talking essentially to myself until it goes out on the web in front of other people. And there's a lot of cars out here. Like, I thought it would just be a nice chill evening because it's nighttime. You think all the people would go away, but no, everyone has the same logic I have, that it's freaking hot outside. So the best time to come out here would be when the sun's setting and it's cooled off. So, point of that all is, if I make any sudden cuts, apologies in advance. I get that this video is kind of all over the place in quality as is. Once I finish catching these things, though, there is something I want to check out. As you may know, the whole Raikou day was a bit of a bust, because essentially Niantic would not let me give them their money. All that sorted out, but by the time I did, the event was over, so I basically only got the right until I used up my free passes and all. Still, considering my situation, this Raikou in particular was really lucky of me to get on my last free pass too. I mean, I could have done like 4 more raids if I really wanted, because I had that many coins saved up, but like I was so close to just buying this stupid box that I figured I'd just wait until I got sorted out. All that aside though, point being, I wanted to like go through my Pokemon storage because I was using my Go Plus for that little bit of time I was reading. Oh, that's the thing about actually walking in nature. You actually come across nature sometimes. There was a actual rabbit that just bolted off when it saw me mindlessly walking by, making a ton of noise. So it doesn't look like I got anything too good, because those are the trades I did earlier today. Lucky Murkrow I got, Lucky Swablu. Unfortunately, like the Swablu, because it's Lucky's got too good of IVs for PvP, but yeah, it's something. Something I wasn't expecting today, just getting 2 Luckies in a row, let alone from the same person. Do I want to keep this excellent for quest? Yeah, I think I can do this excellent for quest. Yeah. That's a little shame. I thought I had like more stuff actually caught in the plus, so I would have a little bit more to talk about. Maybe this is a Sudowoodo nest. I'm surprised I haven't come across any until I got to this part in particular, if that's actually the case, but as it stands, this is the current theory. Also, I can't forget about the fact that with the weather the way it is, there's a good chance that it's just so many Sudowoodos because it's weather boosted. Maybe I should take off my earbuds. It's not like I'm using them anyways because I'm talking into the mic. Hey, Jackie K of the future here. So, as I should have suspected, it did eventually get to a point where recording as I was talking resulted in terrible audio. Honestly, it's not all bad. It just kind of cuts in and out, where there's real loud clicking noises. Kind of started right when the game started picking up the audio of whatever was going on across the lake from here. All I could hear is like people partying and that. Granted, this park is also connected to a dock, so people can go out on their boats there, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of the equation. Not of my sound audio quality, but the situation that I'm currently in now. So, point being, I'll be jumping between the live commentary and post commentary, trying to sum up what would have been in the live commentary every now and then, just so I don't destroy your ears, especially because I'm considering making this a wave audio file and counting it as the podcast for the every other week, because I have no podcast recorded. And I'm going to talk about very similar things to if I was recording a podcast anyway, so you guys get an idea what gaming show is like. Maybe I should throw... You know what? Let's have a little fun. Oh, I forgot I'm using AR Plus, so this might be a bit more interesting than I thought. Ooh. Careful, Sudowoodo. You may have a bit of an accident. No sudden movement. Oh no, he already jumped. Let's see if I can get him now. Dang it. I forget how much trying to catch an AR just sucks. Oh, you can actually go up to it while shaking the Pokeball. That's fun. Expert handler bonus. This is the first time I've actually done this silly AR Plus mode. I have done stuff with AR before, but usually it's like info. Wow, that Pokeball actually looks really good in the vast nature. Before I go back out, maybe I can just like skim around this place, take a little bit in. There's some woods over there with a hiking trail. I never really have to go in there because I'm a nerd and there's no Pokestop, so therefore not really too much incentive for me to walk there. With AR Plus, or I mean Adventure Sync being a thing, I should actually try with that a bit more. So I'm gonna just be fiddling around with Adventure Sync for a little while here. And while doing so, I bring up various things that happened to me throughout the day. So why don't I just give you the full story of how my day was. So I think first and foremost, I should mention that Super Mario Maker 2 came out Friday. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure that's just a dog. I'm not getting robbed or anything. Just an over-energized puppy on the loose, which is why I keep the room door closed, among other reasons. So I'm not going to go into all the details why I got Super Mario Maker 2 today, because that's a whole other story in of itself. But I will at least say that between the Friday evening walk that I had with Pokemon Go, and playing Mario Maker 2 when I got home, that definitely took up my whole night. I didn't even play any levels that night. I just worked on making a level, and I may have been up to midnight working on one single level and had to spend the morning finishing it up. Maybe I spent too long finishing it up, because unlike the nighttime, I did set a timer, but it still felt like I had not enough time in the day. By the time I got down and had breakfast, it was almost noon. I could have gone straight from breakfast to lunch. I didn't, but the concept that I was only just getting started my morning that late was a little bit discouraging. Especially because I already knew that I was going to have no time to work with this weekend between the whole Raikou day and the PvP tournament that I was going to the following day. I did try to salvage the day though. In the process, I started working on some Con Bravo art. For those of you who don't know, because I don't talk about it too often, I have some plans for when I go to Con Bravo, this convention up in Hamilton, Ontario. Yes, up in Canada. Yes, I am in such a weird spot of the world that even cities up in Canada are closer to me than the majority, if not all, the conventions in the United States. It's actually kinda sad. But because it's so close, it's the one convention I go to every year that a lot of the people that I watch online go. So I always try to make some sort of art piece, print it out, and give it to them when I meet up with them at the convention. It's kind of been a tradition for me personally. With going to PAX this year as well, I kinda didn't even have the time to do a proper digital drawing. I just took fan art that I've made for the past and printed it out. And partly because of that, and partly because I felt ambitious, instead of doing the usual thing I do for Common Bravo where I make a drawing, print it out, maybe like add some ribbon or something to try and make it more like a charm or a keychain than just a piece of paper with... No, I'm not going to be that hard on myself. I decided to go one step beyond, and at least for the main 4 that I know go to Common Bravo every year, I want to make something physical, 3D, for each of them. So my plan was to make one custom amiibo, and the rest all dry clay figures. Unfortunately, it has been a very long time since I've done either of those things. And in fact, it's been so long when I pulled out my dry clay to use it, it had all hardened up into a giant brick. So that was useless. Thankfully, for better and for worse, I have the substance called green putty that I normally use to add features onto custom amiibo. I decided just to make figurines out of that. They come out real nice, but man, I usually just stick to dry clay because the green stuff gets expensive and adds up, but that's another tangent off the story, and I got limited time to work with. So I'm going to use that stuff to make everything. All will be good, and I'll have something extra special to bring to Common Bravo with me. However, this thing called procrastination kinda got in the way. Only just started working on them in the past couple months when I pretty much had all year to work on it. Cause that's horrid beast. And while I've been making progress here and there, I really felt like I really need to step up my game. So that whole story was to go into the fact that for the little bit of time I had between my slow start in the morning and lunch, because I assume I was going to be out from 4 to 7 for Raikou Day, and it's going to be pretty inconvenient to have dinner. So I was just going to have a big lunch and try to make use out of all the time I had to work on figurines. Because dang it, if I could only get one thing done today, I wanted to finish at least a couple of those. And unfortunately, I spent all that time working. Maybe I finished 1 or 2. I definitely got at least close. But I didn't give myself enough time to sit down and have lunch, so I just scarfed that down real quick. And I realized the guys wanted to meet up even earlier than I was planning to meet up for Raikou Day, so that kind of put things into things, because I had to go get gas for the car before Community, because that was basically all out. So then I get to Raikou Day, and if you saw that Twitter thread, you know what happens. I guess I could at least summarize real quick. Long story short, I did not get to play the full 3 hours of Raikou Day. The worst part is that I knew that would be the case before Community Day even started. Because I've been meaning to buy more passes for a long time, because I wiped all my passes clean during the legendary dinner hour last week. Because I was up in the college, I met up with a couple people I've seen a few times up there, and they had a raid train plan. And man, did I commit. Did so many Kyogre raids, I can't even recall it at the moment. If I had to put a number, I'd say the 10 to 20 range. Which would be fine because I wanted to go hard on Kyogre. But I had no raid passes, and I didn't have time to buy raid passes because I've been so busy this day. A few hours before the event, I decided to finally do it. I clicked to buy coins because I didn't have enough coins, and I get this message. For those of you not watching the video, that is a "your purchase could not be completed" message, and every time I try to buy coins, I get the message. Thankfully, yet unfortunately, the group I was driving with decided to go home early anyways, so I was able to get home and spend the rest of my raid day on the line with Apple support. We got the issue sorted out, and they were real nice about it. I couldn't ask for better service, but I did miss out on it all. I only had free passes, and thankfully I did get a shiny Raikou with perfect attack, on the last free pass I had. Considering my situation, I couldn't ask for more. Some dinner and AC set up after that. I decided to go out for a walk this evening, and here we are now. Anyways, back to past self with the art, which I'd love to share, but I want to make sure it's a surprise for the people I give it to. Currently, like, the only way I really have to share is, like, on my Patreon page, only because I know nobody is actually gonna pay money for me to actually see that sort of stuff. So, plus it gives content for people that actually have been considering the Patreon page. Still, it's a win-win in my book. Once Con Bravo is over, I'll definitely post pictures of everything I've been making on the Twitter proper. And I think that's all I have to say about that. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I would, like, actually do something to extend the length of the video or give you something entertaining to watch. But I've just been having no luck. There's always been some sort of distraction. Some sort of issue. Until now. Of course, when I start saying it, it starts working. Anyways, back for the future, because that's what I wanted to talk about before ending off the video. Got a PvP tournament tomorrow, and it's going to be of the Rainbow League. Yeah, it's right at the end of the month, so I just got enough time to do one tournament. And honestly, this place up in Erie County, they always do their PvP tournaments at the very end of the month. So I'll probably be missing the next one because I'll be at Con Bravo during that time. Which is part of why I want to actually look into hosting a PvP tournament more local. It's just a matter of, finding the time to actually do it. And this would have been a good option back when I had Ice Beam on YouTube. But alas, I was lazy, so I'm going to have to pay the consequence. Anyways. So hopefully that'll be fun. It's always a bit of a travel to go all the way from Niagara County to Erie County for this sort of stuff, so I typically only play up in Erie County on my way home from work, because that's about as far away as I go for work as well. But hopefully, I have battles that are exciting enough to actually justify the trip all the way up there. We'll have to wait and see, though. And the audio gets real bad again. Not missing too much, though. I just keep talking over and over again about how enjoyable it actually is to get out walking in the evening. I was actually a little bit worried at the time that I wouldn't get out before the sun set and it would just be dark. But it seemed like I got there just in time. Sun's really starting to set as I make my way back to the car to go home. So I feel like I picked, honestly, the perfect time because it was hot today. Or should I say this day. In fact, once we get done with this battle and I get closer, I could probably show off the view of the sunset at the lake. That'll definitely be a sight to behold. Even if it is recorded off a cell phone, not just a cell phone, an in-game app within a cell phone, but a sight to behold nevertheless. And since I spent so much time about this day, talking about the future day, which, as I'm post-commentating, is actually today, I might as well go with how it went. It was a nice tournament. A bit long, and went even longer than the last one, and I was afraid of it cut it into my day, even more than I thought, because I actually went and raided Groudons afterwards. But I basically didn't get home until late into the afternoon, which kind of threw off my schedule for the rest of the day, TBH. As you can tell by me trying to finish this up last minute so I can actually get it up tomorrow. Very behind schedule. But I did get some rather nice PvP battles to share over on the YouTube eventually. It's actually well over 30 minutes, almost 40. But I'll go a little bit more into that in a little sec. For now, it's sunset time. You know what? This is as good a spot as any. There's a nice clearing. I can't get down to the beach from here, but there's a nice clearing of the lake in the sunset. probably won't show up too well on the phone, but I can at least get a quick shot of it right here. Get the ocean well. This is probably all for the better because AR Plus is not going to work when it's this dark because it can't even tell that I'm standing on grass and not just a giant void. One more shot of the lake just because. Feeling pretty good tonight. I just want to share the good feels around. Yeah, go ahead, Centrin. Allow me to just get one more pleasant view. And this is going to translate well if I decide to just make this a podcast. Indeed, it will. Hey, Centrin. Want to come out and play? Say, Centrin. Yeah, it should work, but it's not working. Well, I monkey around with that, I suppose. Pokemon Go lately. Feel like there's a community day or some sort of event that happened that I wanted to talk about, but just can't seem to think of at the moment because it already feels like it was so long ago. I mean, it's definitely not what I was thinking of, but we had a little bit of event goodness not too long ago. Currently, you can tell by all the loan forms, we're currently in the anniversary for Pokemon Go. If it hasn't already happened already, it's going to happen soon. So they pretty much just did this little event in celebration of Pokemon Go. There's a bunch of loan forms out. There's this new special research that's going to be holding me up because it requires making a friend. I've already talked about how much of a nerd I am. Now I know I can do the trick, but I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone to do the trick with me. Well, minus my little sister who's not convinced that we're not gonna lose all our friendship over it. I'll figure that out. Should have done yesterday. While I'm talking about this event, I guess I can go over some of the other bonuses with it. For one, every trade you do takes a third less Stardust than it normally does. So say you have a trade for 100 Stardust, now it only takes 75. There's also more bonuses when you raid with people. Get more damage battling with friends, and you also get more Premier Balls to catch the Pokemon with. And I think that's all I have to really say. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, this was more of a social experiment than anything, and it did turn out better than I was expecting at first. The beginning there kind of got my hopes off that I'd have a whole video saved and I wouldn't have to do any post commentary, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the whole Pokemon battle thing. So I'm thinking, because it's such a long video, I think I'm gonna cut it in half. Do the first half of the tournament I was in one Friday, and then do the other half of the following day. But I'd like to get your guys' insight on it. It's not going to be like majority rules, but what people have to say about it will influence my decision of how I'm going to deliver it on YouTube. Because it's just on the border of being as long as the last PvP video, and being long enough to be two separate PvP videos. But the big reason the Kingdom Cup took so long to do in the first place was because it was just such a huge video, and I had to go post-commentate all of it. And some of the battles took multiple attempts because I not only have to watch it over, but if I didn't fit everything I wanted to say for a particular battle, I pretty much re-recorded it again. So not only is it a big video compared to what I normally upload for Pokemon Go stuff, it takes a lot more time to do it right. So if you guys don't mind me splitting it in half, so I can have two videos to share, and fill my schedule with rather than just one, that would work out wonderful for me. But if you feel like it would take away from the experience too much, maybe I'll just like put it in the back burner a little bit longer, just work on it when I have the time. So you guys get one entire experience. I can see pros and cons to both ways. Anyways, if you're interested in checking me out on YouTube, either see those Pokemon battles, or to see how Game & Chill actually works for things outside of Pokemon Go, or if you're just curious about like the visual of the lakeside I showed here, etc. All that's on YouTube. I'm assuming most of you are actually watching this on YouTube already though, so it may be a little weird. I just gotta bridge, if I'm going to use this for both the iTunes setup I have as well as YouTube, I might as well bridge the gap. Link to YouTube will be in the show description, but if you search Jackie K, it should come up. Otherwise, you can do like youtube.com/JacketCon. Basically spelled the same way as my name, but added ONG at the end. And speaking of fun alliterations, if you want to check me out on social media, because that's honestly the place I'm most prominently on, so if I have an update to make, I'm most likely to make it there. You can check it out at Jacket Stuff. Spelled the same way as Jackie K, but add some stuff at the end. I do have a site that you can go to on my Twitter page. Just bookmark that site, and you got my feed for Twitter on there. And plus, if I have a real major announcement, I have a blog on the site that I'll post an update there. Plus, the website has links to all the social media sites I'm on, and pretty much has a section for every single thing I do. Like, I don't think I have anything for physical art there, but it's just only because it's been so long since I've had the time to actually build it out. But like, there's a section for Pokemon Go, there's a section for YouTube content, there's a section for photography I do, and if it's not on my site, you could probably find a social media site that I posted on within the homepage of the site and get to the content from there. It really is in all one place. Unfortunately, the URL for the site is a little too complicated for me to spell it out for you guys, but if you check the video description / show notes, you'll definitely see a link to the site there as well. With all that plugging out of the way, oh yeah, I guess I didn't talk about Patreon, so it would be rude of me not to at least bring it up. I'm Jackie K on Patreon too, just in case you like what I do and want to just financially support me a little so I can have money saved up for new equipment for the various things I do. That's patreon.com/JackieK. Again though, that's only if you have the money to spare and want to show support through financial means. Honestly, just showing support through liking the video, writing a review on your audio site, subscribing on whatever form you prefer to listen to or watch the content on. All that really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate it a lot. I don't think I can emphasize that enough. Use the site to just find what you want to follow me for, and follow me. It's all appreciated. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all for the next one. Take care.